Why in the world are your items not selling? Your sales are stagnant, inventory is piling up, and every day you're losing money. The reason? Your sell-through rate needs an overhaul in the way you view it and the way you implement it into your business. Ignoring this key metric means you're stuck in a cycle of failure. If you don't understand it and fix it, your store won't survive. In this video, I'm going to explain how sell-through rates work, how to look at them from different perspectives, and how to ultimately make better decisions that make you more money. I will dissect 9 of my own sold items and explain why I chose to buy those items to resell. My goal is to help you understand not only why buying items with high sell-through rates is key, but also why buying product with lower sell-through rates shouldn't make you feel like a loser. Please let me explain. I know a lot of you feel like crap about your store's STR, about the way you're sourcing, about the way you're running your business. You watch all these videos of people showing you their 100% sell-through rate items, the items that sold in just a few days or even hours. You then think to yourself, I must be the biggest fucking loser because I can't find these items consistently. Well, first, stop that. I'm here to tell you that you're not alone, and most of these videos show only the best items and not the entire picture. Stay with me until the end and allow me to make it make sense to you. Hope is not lost, people. It's just stranded on an island somewhere. If you're new to the channel, this is the way it works. I will show and discuss sold items that provide a solution to this STR problem. And in between items, I will answer questions and respond to comments left on my channel. If you ever have any questions or something on your mind, leave it in the comments below. Now, let's get to it. All right, let's get the party started. First is this DJI wireless mic set. Let me tell you, this was a fast mover. It moved within minutes of when I put it up. If you notice, I paid $0 for it. It was a 2TX, 1RX. That means 2 transmitters, 1 receiver, charging case. It had a long-range battery, etc. I didn't need them. I bought new ones, so I sold this one. Sold it for $164.99, $9.99 shipping after fees and everything. It sold for $137.57. And let me show you, or let me talk to you about what I found when I ran the numbers. There were 73 listed, 113 sold, and 1.25 sales per day, 154% STR. Did you catch all that? For those of you that are saying, what are you talking about? Where are you getting those numbers from? Can I get a report for that? Where do I find that? I'm going to explain to you how this works. If you don't know how it works, then you're never going to be able to really understand STR and fix your problem. First, there's a few things that we have to look at. We have to look at the actual STR, the percentage of sell-through rate. We have to look at the items listed. We have to look at the items sold. And then we have to figure out how many sales per day. If you guys are unaware, eBay does 90 days sell-through, or it looks at information 90 days back only. If you want to go back further, historical information, you have to use an app like Keepa. But today we're just using the eBay app because that's what everybody knows, right? Only 90 days back. And this is recent. I did this research today to make sure that you guys have the most up-to-date information. There are 73 listed now. There were 113 sold in the last 90 days. 1.25 sales per day, and an STR of 154. Let me explain how this works. First off, you need your STR. What is your sell-through rate? You take your items sold. Let's do this. Let me do it on my phone. You take your items sold, which is 113, divided into the items listed. 73 times 100 is 154.79. That's 154% sell-through rate. That is your STR. That is extremely high. Anything over 50%, you're good to go. Now, I mentioned 1.25 sales per day. Why do I mention this? And almost no one else mentions this in other videos. Let me explain. If you have 113 sold, divided into 90 days, because we're looking at 90 days of data, equals to 1.25 sales per day. What does that mean? That means that you have to watch out when you're picking up items. Let me give you an example. Let's just say that I'm looking at an item. There's 10 listed and 10 sold. You're like, oh man, 100% sell-through rate. I'm gonna take this. That is still, yes, 100% sell-through rate, but that means that there's only 10 sold. 10 sold over the last 90 days. What does that mean? 10 sold divided into 90 days equals 0.11. That means that 0.11 items sell per day. That means every 10 days or so, one item sells. Is that good, or do you want to wait 10 days for somebody to look at the listings to see if they're going to buy yours? This is why you have to find items that have a lot of sell-through. Not just high sell-through rate percentages, but a lot of sell-through. It means that it's sold a bunch of times. 60, 90, 100, 120, more than that. It just depends. Let's just say that there's 90 sold in the last 90 days. That means one item sells per day. That's what you have to look through. These are the calculations that I came up with for all the items, and I'm going to keep talking about this throughout the entire video so you guys can understand how it works and you guys can do your own math. And before we go to the next item, let's take the first question. At Shannon Greenlaw 321 says, she actually asked a few questions, but I'm going to go through this one. I'm only 10 months into eBay and 7 months into reselling as far as sourcing from other eBay sellers. I didn't consider it as an option because I thought it's already on eBay, and if it hasn't sold for them and they have it priced fine now, what makes me think it'll sell for me? She's referencing something that I said when I buy from other eBay sellers and then I redo pictures or I do something to it and I sell the item. She says, well, if it didn't sell for them, why would I buy it and why would I think it would sell for me? Which is a logical thought process. But let me explain what we are not taking into account here. Sometimes people don't know what they have. Maybe they say, this is a coffee cup. Just a coffee cup. It's a coffee cup, teal. It is 18 ounces or 14 ounces, and they put it up, and it never sells. It's like, okay, well, what do you mean, Damien? So what? Well, what they didn't see is that this is a Le Creuset coffee cup. Le Creuset coffee cups are very expensive, and it is a high-end brand. Just being the fact that you put Le Creuset in there will already boost you up in the ratings because the algorithm knows that people are looking for Le Creuset and people are searching for that. So sometimes what you can do is that you can go online, eBay, Amazon, Mercari, everywhere, and you want to find the errors that other people make, the things that they don't know. If you have more information, you will always do better than everybody else. It's always about information. The person that knows more is always going to make more money. This is why you have to deep dive into your categories. I hope that makes sense. I love talking about this topic because people call me crazy because I buy things on eBay. Well, if they didn't sell for them, why would they sell for you? Well, this is why. Because I know more, and maybe I know something that they don't about that product, or maybe I can part it out, or it just depends. There's so many things you can do. Next product, here we have Philips Norelco SH71 replacement shaving heads. 5,000, 7,000, and all that. I bought them for $850. This is retail arbitrage, mind you. Sold for $22.99. After fees and everything, I kept $15.01. So first off, let me say about the profit. It's about $7 in profit. People are like, well, that's not that much. No, but it is retail arbitrage. 30% or more in retail arbitrage is decent margin. And in fact, these I can buy them in bulk, do one listing, and they'll sell through. So I just have to get that out of the way. Now let's look at the numbers for this one. Norelco SH31. First off, if you don't know how to filter properly when you're doing your comps, then you're going to have an issue. And let me explain. When I do Norelco SH71 blades, a bunch of other Chinese bullshit that is not OEM and that they suck compared to the Norelco one comes up. All those listings come up. So those listings, there are 1,200 listed, 2 sold. So it's like, well, why would you pick them up? That's a horrible sell-through rate. Okay. When I filter to OEM or original, made by the manufacturer, or Norelco, or I put a barcode, or when I get very specific in what I'm looking for, then I get the real numbers. These are the real numbers. 120 listed, 73 sold, 0.81 per day, 60% sell-through rate. So most people would pass them up. When they don't know how to filter, looking for your STRs, they would have passed this item up. It's a 60% sell-through rate. That's pretty damn good. And these are all sold out, by the way. And I buy these shaving heads all the time. So first, let me remind you, you have to filter to that specific product that you're buying. This will change when it comes to clothing and other items that are more specific, like with color and size. But when it's something generic like this, it's just a blade, it's exactly the same, and there's thousands of them, then you have to filter to the specific model so that you can get real numbers. If you don't get real numbers, I guarantee you're going to get a fucked up way to look at this. And then you're not going to pick up the right items and you're going to pick up the wrong items. So just be mindful of that. Next question, at Pretty Vives World 7115 says, thanks, this helps. I noticed you put the item away without taking the shipping measurements for eBay. Example, weight. She's referencing best photo setup for eBay Poshmark clothing 2024 on a budget. This is when I was taking pictures. So these people see me take photos, I put it in a bag, and then I put it away. I don't take measurements and I don't take weights. And this is not for everybody, but I'll explain why. First off, I already know how much things weigh, usually by doing this. Look, and I don't want to be like, oh, you think you're all badass. Like, I don't think I'm a badass, but I've been doing this for so long that you got to be an idiot not to learn from what you do every single day of your life. So this is why you get good. Second, I charge $8.99 flat shipping on any clothing. That means that no matter what happens, I'm going to be covered. Because most of them are going to go in a poly bag up to $7.20 or $7.40 or whatever it is right now, because things change and the USPS keeps increasing rates. If it's a flat rate mailer, then what am I paying? $8.80 at maximum. So I'm still covered by those $8.99. So I don't have to take time to do things like this. It is a waste of my time. Now, if the item is really big, like a super huge coat, I know how to do that too. I use flat rate for everything. Then I would go to $9.99 or $12.99 or $14.99, or I keep going like that. So it all comes together because of experience. Not all of you can do this, and maybe you're going to have to measure and do the measurements, right? Measure and weigh it. In time, you're going to get better, and you're going to stop doing that because it takes up too much time. It's just wasted time that you can never get back, just so you know. Next item, here we have San Antonio Fiesta medals, pinks, torchies, majestic roots, and so on. This is a big lot of 16. For those of you that are in this area, these things sell. You wouldn't think, well, who the hell's going to buy them? These are collectibles. They sell. I bought them for $3.12, sold for $24.99, $8.99 shipping. After fees and everything, I made $22.67, and they sold like that, fast way. So you got to think, okay, maybe I need to pick up different kinds of items as long as they have a high STR. Let me show you the numbers. There were 47 listed, 123 sold. That means it's 1.36 items per day for a 261% STR. That is insane for something like this, right? It's metals. Who wants metals? I'm giving you all types of items so you guys can understand that it's not just clothing and it's not just shoes and it's not just certain things that have high STRs. So I hope that you guys take that to heart. But that is a good one. These metals sell fast. And remember, what are we looking for? High STR. That is very high, 261%. And also remember, I said, look for items that have more sell-through. These have 123 sold in the last 90 days. Thank you, baby. 123 sold. That means that 1.36 sell per day. So if there are 47 listed, you're like, man, I'm going to sell them like that. Just keep that in mind every time that you're out shopping. Next question, at Corn Pops Dude. Oh, I remember this one. This is a good one. You, sir, just made this week's segment of Who Be Talking Shit. Congratulations. Let's see what he says. 150 in unsorted DVDs? Don't lie to these people. Most are probably junk anyway. They're only getting more obsolete and smaller buying crowd. Not to mention how long it takes you to move them if you can. The only saving grace is the shoes. If you can make the initial $50 back, then quick sales, then you'll have a tub of movies for a few years at profit. None of the shipping materials or costs to ship have been included. He's referencing a short that is called Garage Sale Negotiation Tactics. Well, this is funny. Number one, this is why I don't do shorts. I rarely do shorts now. I only do them because I like when people talk shit. This person has never gone on my channel, doesn't understand or know my long format videos. So all they're doing is talking shit off of a 60-second clip. And I did tell them, please go watch my long format videos and then come and say whatever you want. And of course they didn't. He's talking about, I bought a big box of DVDs and Blu-rays. I paid $50, including some Merrell shoes. And he's like, oh, that's too much. Well, it ended up that every single DVD is 40 cents after I counted them and after I threw away the bad ones, right? So I'm paying 40 cents for a DVD, which is decent. What you want to pay is a quarter, but 40 cents is fine. I can deal with that. This guy is talking shit that, like, don't lie to these people. Okay, first of all, DVDs do sell. They do. Second of all, I'm not selling them all the time to make a profit. I'm selling them to pump up my account, like I keep saying in a bunch of videos, so that you can protect your seller account. That means that you're getting more and more transactions. It also snowballs your STR in your entire store because they start moving fast. Now, are they super fast movers? Not all of them. Some of them are, but they do move. And I'm not lying. I'm never lying. If this person would have gone to any of my other videos, they would have seen that I was talking about basically buying insurance with these DVDs and Blu-rays. And also, let me say this. He says they're becoming obsolete and a smaller buying crowd. Well, maybe because he doesn't understand what is happening in this world with censorship. When you're only streaming and you're not buying physical media, you're a dumbass. What's going to happen eventually is that companies like Apple, Amazon, Netflix, all these companies can now censor and take any movie out, and you will never be able to see it because they get to dictate what the hell you watch. If you want to live like a moron, fine, no problem. I don't do that. I have physical media because I want to protect history and I want to protect the real world, and I don't want to be censored by anybody. So, Ed Corn Pops Dude, thank you very much. You made this week's segment of Who Be Talking Shit. Next here we have Callaway X20 iron set. This was awesome. They're all graphite and it's set from number 3 iron to 9 iron. If you notice, it says 1076 each, 7532 for the entire set. I didn't overpay, but I paid more than I usually do, but I know why I paid more. First of all, I know golf, and I always pick up golf, especially this one, the X20. I've sold it a bunch of times in the Callaway. It didn't take long to sell, but you're going to probably be thinking, damn, why would you pick it up with the numbers that it had behind it with the STR? And let me explain. First, it sold for $219, $29.99 shipping. After fees and everything, I made $192.36. Mind you, this is what I made on these. I paid $140 for the entire set to include a driver, 2 other woods, a sandwich, and a pitching wedge. So I'm not even done yet, and I'm already in the profit. I'm already profiting $50. When I sell the other ones, actually $80. I sold a Big Bertha as well, but it's somewhere in my shipping area. When I finish with everything, I'm gonna profit about $240 out of the entire set, which is excellent. But look, why would I pick this up? Why would anybody pick this up after doing the comps, right? So they ran comps. So let's just say that you don't know what you're doing when it comes to golf and you run comps. 163 listed. 2 sold in the last 90 days. That is 0.02 per day. That means that 1 sells every 45 days. A set anyways, not a club. 1 every 45 days. That is way too long, right, to wait? And the STR was 1.22%. So, Damien, you're always saying you have to have a high STR. If not, we're not going to make money. So why the hell are you picking those up? Well, let me explain something about this. When it comes to sets or something very specific that people look for all the time, but they don't always purchase, is because these sets have to be in really good condition. They have to have they have to meet a lot of demand, meaning they have to have all the numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, because they want the entire iron set. They have to have certain grips, a certain stiff, like whether it's flexible or stiff. There's so many things that go behind it that if you don't know your niche, you wouldn't know to pick that up. Why the hell would you pick it up? 1.22% STR, you're going to be holding that for a year. But, Damien, why did you pick it up? Well, because I know golf clubs. And I knew these were going to sell fast. And they did. So you don't always absolutely have to have 100% sell-through rate, 50% sell-through rate. You can also make good decisions on what you think will sell fast. Now, you do have to have rules. You can't be doing that all the time. You have to have some sort of backup, which is reporting, right? This is why we look at the STRs. But I see other videos online that tell you if it's under 50%, nope, never. I'm never gonna buy it. Never. It's like, really, never? Come on, man. Like, this is the proof right here. And I'm gonna show you more proof as we go along, because it's not always just about the percentage. A business is all encompassing, so you have to be good at looking at all the reports, not just that one, and you have to know your niche. I had to say that because a lot of you feel bad because you see these people that have all these high sell-through rates and you're like, oh, I can never find them. That's not me. Why can't I find them? But you know what? You don't always have to do that, and you will make money, because I make money. Next question. At Bunkle's World says, great info. Thanks for sharing. Question though. You shouldn't margin also account for something? He is referencing how to make $100,000 in sales on eBay. Because I was saying, if you focus on a $30 AUR, then you'll make $109,000, or over $100,000 in a year. He says, I wouldn't feel good selling $30 items, which I paid $25 each. I get it for sure. Let me explain why I didn't talk about that in that video. Being a business owner, you have to wear a lot of hats and you have to know a lot of reports. STR, AUR, ADS. You have to know your niche. You have to know there's just so much. Your profit margins, your gross profit margins, your net profit margins. There's so many things that you have to look at that I have to piece it down so that the people watching this video can say, okay, this month or, for the next 6 months, I'm going to focus on $30 AUR. As long as I don't pay too much for them, then I'm going to be okay with that. I have other videos that I say focus on making X amount in profit so that you can make $1,000 a week in profit, which is take home money. What I'm trying to do with this series is break it down. Break everything down so that you can understand it. It's very difficult for a lot of people to look at the big picture and then make it make sense to where that's what I need to buy and it's going to fit into my big picture. That's what I need to buy and it's going to fit into that. It's just a lot of numbers. So this is why I was doing this, sir. Thank you very much. That's a great question. And thank you for calling that out. And by the way, let me throw this out there. Would you guys be interested in doing a local event? For those of you that live near here in the San Antonio, Austin area, I've been wanting to do a live local event that will make you proficient in all these categories. Listing, shooting, knowing your numbers, knowing how to calculate net profit, gross margins, all that, so that you can actually become profitable. I'm looking to do this next year because it takes a while for me to plan it. And it would be a full day or 2 days or 3 days. It'd be an event. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments below, because I would love to see if I'm going to be doing this or if I'm going to be focusing on doing more online training or online consulting, because I do that now, but I really love live events. They bring in so much energy and you get to meet all these people from everywhere. So if you guys are interested, let me know in the comments below. Let's go to the next item. Vintage Hemingway Insulator Clear Mickey Mouse. 60 electric, made in USA. This one is beautiful. And it had a chip on it. I broke it on the way to the processing room. But people still bought it. Somebody bought it and they bought it fast. It sold real quick. I bought it for $12, sold for $40, $9.99 shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $34.81. Mine is the cost of goods, of course. And let me give you the numbers for that one. Right here I have Mickey Mouse Insulator. There were 33 listed, only 9 sold. That means it's 0.1 per day. Only a tenth per day. That means that every 10 days or so, one sells. And the STR was 27%. Close to about 30. But why did I decide to pick this up? I decided to pick this up because this is a very hard, very difficult to find item. You can find it in other colors. You can find it in clear. But this, with the Mickey Mouse, this insulator, for those of you that know vintage, very difficult to find in good condition. So I decided to pick it up. And I knew it was going to sell because of the price. Pricing also has to do a lot with your STR. Let me explain. You can have 100% sell-through STR. But the 100% sell-through was at, let's just say, $20. If you decide to put it at $40 and wait to see if you can get somebody, so they can give you more money, then you yourself are kicking your STR down, because maybe that STR is now 20%, because at $40, only 20% people buy. But at $30, 100% of people buy. So you can't do that to yourself either. You have to be average market price will usually mirror the STR that you see in all those reports. So average market price is what I recommend when you're pricing things like this. And again, this is not a high sell-through item, but it sold super fast. I think it was maybe 4 days, maybe less. And it was chipped. So you don't have to feel like crap when you find low sell-through items. Just remember that every time that you pick a lower sell-through item, you are making a conscious choice. This is your choice. You can not pick it up and look for only high sell-through items so you can make money faster, so that you don't have money tied up and putting stuff in storage that it just keeps, being in storage. You just keep putting items in. And your other option is, if you do decide to pick up low STR, that means that you're okay with holding on to that and having that money tied up until it sells. So it's your choice, always. Next question. Actually, this is a comment. At David Kelber 3485 says, I got a defect stating carrier did not scan. I dropped it off at the post office same day. 5 days later, it scanned at destination post office. How is it my fault that USPS didn't do their job scanning the package? Oh, man. He's referencing eBay. Don't lose your status. I talk about how to protect your account and how to fight defects. Well, let me say this, and you're not going to like this, but this is the truth. It is your fault. Because if you knew the rules, then you would say, shit, okay, well, I have to do this now. A true scan means that you talk to someone, a person at the USPS, they scanned a product like your label, and they accepted it. Accepting it means that that's the first scan, it's already in the system, and eBay will leave you alone. If you threw it in the box without talking to anybody, even if you use the kiosk that is unmanned and you scan it there, that is not a true acceptance scan. That is because somebody, let's just say that I can go and scan it at the kiosk and then just take the package and not throw it in the bin. So the USPS is going to say, well, you didn't leave anything for us. And then you're going to fight them on it. When there's an acceptance scan, a human is taking responsibility for your packages. So if you don't get that acceptance scan from a human being at the USPS, you're f***ed. There's no way around that. This is why people get mad though sometimes, because the line is super long and you have to wait for a scan. You're like, I don't have time to wait. That's why you throw it in the bin. So when you throw it in the bin, you're making a conscious decision to trust that somebody's going to scan it. And in this case, obviously it didn't go well, but it is what it is. For the most part, I would say about 1 in every 500 to 1,000 of their packages, doesn't get scanned. Like this happens to them. It's very rare, at least in my area. I mean, it could be more prevalent in your area. I'm not sure, but I recommend that you talk to them and see if there's a line, if you can skip the line so they can just scan your label and you can just throw the packages in there or give them the packages, or you have to stand in line. Sorry. I know you wanted to hear something better, but that's what it is. Next item. Oh, this is a good one. David Yerman bangle bracelet, 925 sterling silver. I bought it for $0 because this was my girl. She wanted to get rid of it. And I said, great, I will take the money, no problem, and run. Sold for $299, $299.99, $9.99 shipping after fees and everything and insurance. I got back $262.06. This is an excellent product to have. And let me find it here. Here we go. These are the numbers. There were 69 listed, 53 sold. That means 0.58 sell per day. So 1 every 2 days. 76% STR. And the reason is because it's David Yerman. That brand is very high end. People are looking for it all the time. And it's silver and diamonds. They never go bad. People just sell them and it kind of just changes hands, right? So they're always being looked for. They're always being searched on eBay. I do recommend you get into jewelry. You just have to know what you're doing with jewelry, because you have to know how to test silver, test gold, test diamonds. You have to have all this, like the assets to do the testing on the metals. And then you have to have a diamond tester to test the diamonds. But if you do get into it, there's a lot of money to be made. I love this product. This was a great product to pick up. Again, the STR on that was 76%. The goal always is to have 50% or higher is a pretty fast sell-through rate. When it comes to other items, you can go down to about 30%. If you go lower than 30%, it's going to take a while for things to sell. So I would say the cutoff is 30% unless you get, like my golf clubs and other things that are very specific. But for the most part, 30% is a good way to start. 50% is better, 100% and higher. I mean, come on. Next question at Xavier Willard 8059 says, what size polybag do you use for your inventory system? He is referencing how to shoot clothing photos faster for eBay, Poshmark, Mercari. That is one of, actually, I think that's the video that has the most views ever in my channel. It's got like 50,000 views. It's a great video. If you guys haven't seen it, you should check it out. I show you how to shoot clothing faster on eBay. It's a great video. It only takes 7 pictures or 8, depending if you have an issue on your garment or not. But I use 10 by 15 bags. The bags are not Amazon bags. They're not shitty bags. They're actually very hard bags to tear. I import them from Mexico for myself. I wanted to import them a long time ago to sell, but I just haven't done that. And I don't think I want to do that because the margins are kind of small. And that's not the product that I want to sell. But that's what I use, 10 by 15. Next, here we have DMC Lane Colbert Virgin Wool Yarn Needlepoint. This is not awkward for me, but I don't ever buy this. But I started picking more of it and more of this up because they sell and they sell consistently. I guess people are doing more things at home now, finally. And I say, great, I love it. Let's get people to do things at home and not just buy stuff out and about or buy Chinese crap all the time. I paid $2.50 for the whole lot, sold for $16.99, $6.99 shipping after fees and everything. I made $14.78. Not a lot, not like a huge amount of money, but it's great profit. And let me get here we go. Let me get the numbers for that. There were 104 listed, 27 sold. That's 0.3 per day. That means that one every 3 days or so. 25.96% STR. That is the sell-through rate. Again, around the 30% mark. Sometimes they're going to sit a little bit longer than when you do a 50% mark for STR, but 30% is fine. This was 25.96. I bought these because I just started noticing, again, that wool or this needlepoint stuff or doing anything crocheting or crafting at home starting to pick up. And these sold a lot faster because of my price point. I saw everybody that had price points of about $21 to $28. Because the STR is lower, then you have to offset it with price. If everybody else has a higher price and you're the lowest price, guess what? Your STR is going to go up because you decided to price mark it down. I put it at $16.99. I sold it within maybe like a week and a half and got good money for it. So remember, STR is a sliding scale. If you price your items higher than market value now, then your STR is going to go down. If you price your items lower than market value, then your STR is going to go up. So there is things that you can do to affect it. You just have to, deal with the margins because you're losing a little bit of money, but you're selling it faster. So you got to choose. Everything's about choice in this business. Always, you got to choose. Next question. At iOS Mayhem 1671 says, hi, do you ever use Hazard 9 UN 3091 lithium battery shipping labels on your packages? And do electronics go by priority or ground? Excellent question. I don't talk a lot about hazardous materials because I just haven't. A lot of people don't ask me, but I am able, or I do ship a lot of hazardous materials out, and I can ship, or I'm accredited. I don't know whatever they call it at Amazon. They allow me to ship into their hazardous label warehouse, which you have to take all these courses. You have to be approved, and you have to be a good seller for X amount of time so they can let you do that. So I do know what I'm talking about when I do this. Do I use these labels? Yes. If you don't use the labels and something happens, you are going to be held liable for that. Things like this have to go ground. Ground only. Just ship it ground so you don't have any problems. Oh, let's get to this one. This is the one that most of you do, which is you sell clothing. Most of you sell clothing, right? Puma quarter zip running pullover men's XL. I bought it for $3, sold for $16.99, $8.99 shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $12.49. Again, not a lot of money, but it's good. It's definitely good profit. Well, here we have the numbers. There were 71 listed, 60 sold. That means it's 0.66 per day. So one every, what is that, a day and a half, one sell. 84.5% STR. And let me explain how I got these numbers. If I put here, if I put exactly what I'm looking for, Puma, quarter zip, running pullover, men's XL, navy blue, there's going to be like 2 sold. So the STR is going to be wrong. When it comes to clothing, you could do that for sure. You can look at sizes, but you shouldn't do that because then you get a skewed picture. What you should do is get an overall, like how do quarter zips sell from Puma? How do quarter zips in navy blue sell from Puma? And then get rid of everything else. The reason you don't want to put a size is because you need to you need to see what the market is bearing for all kinds of sizes. Let's just say that you see the soles. You look at all the soles and they all just happen to be mediums. Then at that point, you're like, okay, let me put in XL because I want to see maybe XL doesn't sell in this brand. Maybe small doesn't sell in this brand. So you start going deeper and deeper, filtering out your soles so that you can see the true numbers. In this case, I did an overall search because people are looking for pullovers from Puma. They're not necessarily looking for that XL blue one. They're just looking for pullovers. So I decided, okay, let them view all the other ones. And if they like mine, they're going to buy mine. And this sold within 2 weeks. It was a pretty quick sale. Got it for $3 again, sold it for $16.99. And the reason it sold for that amount in 2 weeks is because I lowered the price compared to the market value at that time. Everybody else is selling them for 21 or more. But again, if the STR, you got to be careful. If the STR is going to be low, then you're going to help the STR. You got to pump it up. That means that you're going to lower the price so the STR can go up and sold. So do I want to wait 3 or 4 months to make an additional $4? Or do I want to sell it now in 2 weeks and make my money already? I mean, for me, it's a no-brainer. Next question, at Misty Old YouTube. Hey, what's up, brother? I met at Misty Old YouTube and my local shop. Thank you very much for getting on my channel again. Let's check it out. He's referencing how to make $100,000 in sales on eBay. I'm going to look at the second question. I am trimming down my listing time, trying to reach 2 minutes as a goal, but weighing and measuring take up the majority of the time. Is it the same for you? Do you have a system you can share? Great question. I sort of answered it already before, but I'm going to answer it quickly now. I don't do measuring and I don't do weighing. I kind of eyeball everything because I've been doing it for so long. And I know that you guys want a better answer to that, or you want me to say something that makes you feel a lot better, but that's just what it is. I've been doing this for so long that I can tell you roughly what the weight is going to be, and almost always I can tell you what it's going to cost to go almost anywhere in the US. There's always exceptions. That's why I keep saying almost. There's always exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, I really never lose money. And I always do flat rate. I don't do calculated shipping. If you are using calculated shipping, then obviously you need to measure and weigh it because the system is going to tag you, or the system is going to give the customer a price for shipping depending on what you put in. This takes way too much time. I can't be using, like you said, 2 minutes is a goal, but I'm taking way longer. I can't be wasting time like that. I'd rather use my time to list more product to make more money. My recommendation, if you're going to be doing this, fine. But if you want to get faster, this is what I recommend. One day, just sit down and take 1 day to do this. You look for what is the cost of this one item. Let's just start at 1 pound. 1 pound sending a 6x6x6 box. And you look at zone A, zone B, zone C, all the zones in USPS, UPS, all over the US. What is the cost of this? Then you move up to 2 pounds, 6x6x6. What is the cost? 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 5 pounds. So you're going to start sampling to roughly get an idea of what the cost is. Once you look at a bunch of them, you're going to say, oh, okay, well, for the most part, it's almost always $15 to the zone, $20 to the zone, $30 to the zone. And then you can make flat rates based on that. If you're not comfortable with this, because a lot of people are not, then don't do this. I am an experienced professional, and I've been doing this for so long that I'm very comfortable with this. But can you lose money? Hell yeah, you can lose money quick. But that's what I recommend if you want to cut down time. All right, here we have the next one. Magnani shoes, penny loafer, Ramiro 2, Cognac, men's 8. You guys can read the rest. I bought them for $5, sold for $60, $12.99 shipping after fees and everything. I brought home $43.22. That is an excellent pickup. But these took a while to sell. Now let's look at the numbers, the Magnani numbers. There were 107 listed, 46 sold, 0.51 per day. That means that one every 2 days, one sells. 43% STR. So now you're thinking, Damien, why did they take so long to sell if, there are 40% or 43% STR? They took a long time. They took probably like 3 months, maybe 4 months. And I'll tell you why. Remember how I said earlier, you affect your STR by the price. Well, because I priced these suckers up a lot. I put them up at $100, and look at that. I sold them for 60 because I took an offer, but I put them up at 100 because I was okay with waiting to get that more of that money. These were in really good condition, and I really like those shoes. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to put them up at 100 and take an offer when it comes, because everybody else was selling them at $28, $38, $48, up to 60, and I had them for 100. So I was like, well, it was your fault, meaning me. Like, it was my fault for the STR, hurting the STR. Yes, but that was a choice. I made that conscious choice. Put up the price, lower the STR, and eventually get more money, or lower the price, higher the STR, and sell them fast. In this case, I don't mind waiting for this because I have other items that are selling through and making me money, to live. So I made that decision. Next question, at Spruced and Gust. Damien, this is much needed video. I only learned about their financing options until eBay opened late last month. You rock. Thank you. Well, thank you very much for that. I think I do rock. I'm kidding. I'm not a douche. Let's talk about this. She is referencing, is eBay's cash advance worth it? I did a test, or I ran a test on eBay's cash advance. Is it worth it? It's worth it if you need money now, and if you know that whatever you're paying in interest, you can overpower by quick sales. That means that if you're borrowing $1,000 and it's going to cost you $150 in interest, but you're making $2,000 within a couple of days because of how fast your merchandise is moving, then who cares? You lose a little bit of money, fine, but you're still making $850 in profit like that. So is it worth it? Sometimes. If you have access, though, to a bank that can give you a lower percentage rate, because the APR on average for these loans on eBay is like 40% for the cash advance, not the other loans. 40% is a lot. That's the APR for the entire year. That's a high-ass amount. Even credit cards go up to only like 27%. So you could easily put it on a credit card and pay it off. The issue is that most people won't pay it off, or they only have monthly payments that are always the same amount of payment that they have to pay back. What the cash advance does is that it takes a percentage from your sales every single day, $3, $4, $3, $4, until you pay it off. And people like this because if you don't sell, you don't pay as much. If you sell more, you pay a little bit more until the loan is paid off. So it just depends. Thank you very much for calling this out. I do have this video if you guys want to check it out. It's in the link below, and the lender is called Liberis. And finally, here we have vintage, the Open Bible 1975 Holy KJV, that means King James Version, blue hardcover. You're going to laugh with this one because, look, I paid $8, sold for $29.99, $8.99 shipping. It sold fast, I think it took 2 days. And then I made $23.53, but let's look at the numbers. Let's run the numbers, people. 121 listed, 4 sold in 90 days. That's 0.03 per day. That is nothing. A 3% sell-through rate. So, Damien, I don't know. You're kind of, you're saying get high sell-through rate, get low sell-through rate. I don't understand that. Again, this is always a choice. And the reason I chose to buy this Bible is because of the cover. The Bible itself is already selling. If you looked at the STR, the Bibles that were listed, none of them had that cover. They were the regular Bible from 1975, great Bible, and it sold for about like $8 or $9. I bought it because of that cover. That leather cover is beautiful, and I knew that somebody was going to buy it. That was a gut call. I made that call. I made that decision. Super low STR, but it's sold in 2 days. This is why I tell you, you can't listen to everybody and you can't just focus on one number all the time. You can't. People don't buy based only on numbers. Customers buy on feeling, customers buy on exclusivity, customers buy in a bunch of different manners that is not just about lowest price and, what's the hottest item. That's just the eBay platform is not just for that. Amazon would be more for that. Fast sell-through rate, no feeling, lowest price. It's a different kind of platform. So you have to understand this when you are looking at items like this. And that's it, everybody. Let's go through this again before we leave. We're going to do the DJI wireless mic one so I can show you how to run STR, how to look at STR. First, you get the sold. 113 sold, divided into the listed. 73 listed times 100 equals 154%. That is your sell-through rate. Also remember, you have to look at how many sold in the last 90 days to see how many sell per day, to see your competition, right? In this case, there were 113 sold divided into 90 days is 1.25 per day. That means that if there are, let's just say in this case, there would be 90 listed, you can assume that 1.25 sell per day. So every single day, one of them is going to sell. If all those run out within 90 days, yours is going to sell. That's what that means. It's always about supply and demand, people. When it comes to STR, it's always about supply and demand. How much supply is there versus how much demand? How many people want the product that you're selling? That's essentially what you're looking at with STR. If you do this correctly, if you constantly focus on a high STR, your sales are going to start moving way faster. And when they start moving faster, the high STR items, your other items start getting shown to other people because your store also has an STR rate, not just your item. Your store has a sell-through rate that the algorithm looks at and says, if they're selling all these items right here that already have a high STR, what about their other items? Can I sell those too? Because eBay wants to make more money. And it snowballs your STR rate as well. So I hope this all makes sense. To continue to support the channel, you can always buy a shirt, a hat, or a logo sticker from the store below. You can also become a member of the Resolutions Posse and get perks like member shoutouts, advanced video viewing, bolo callouts, and much more depending on your level. And it can cost you less than gas station coffee. As always, give this video a like, share this with anybody that needs to see it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already so you don't miss awesome videos like this. See you in the next one. Peace. And cheers, everybody. I have one more video left in this series that's going to bring it all together so you can understand how to view business from a larger perspective and make it all make sense. That way, you look at STR, you look at AUR, you look at your profit margins, and now you're running a business that consistently makes money for you. That's the goal, right? Quiet on the set. Oh, this was good. I can't believe this microphone. I've been having problems with this damn microphone for a couple of days already, but I think I got it. I also got a new phone, which is great. It's an iPhone 12 mini that I bought from somebody for like $90. And that's the phone that I'm going to be using now. It's always better, guys, to have your phone, your personal phone, and a business phone to take pictures, to do videos, to do all that. I definitely recommend it if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, then ni modo, güey, te chingaste.